Hi everyone, those of you new to the channel, I'm Teresa Perrin, and I wanted to discuss with you today TNXP because it's been on my radar for quite some time, and I called it out on Twitter at 30 something cents. I keep waiting for a pullback because the RSI is over 70 and I believe needs to cool off, but we haven't gotten one, and today I see signs that it's continuing to move higher. So before market opens, I'm going to tell you what's going on with TNXP. Let's get started. Please remember, nothing I say is financial advice, and always do your own DD. Okay, so TNXP has a free float of 57.5 million. This has had a wild range that it's traded in the past year. If you were to pull up that chart, you would see that it has a 52-week low of 28.9 cents, so essentially 29 cents, and a 52-week high of $11.52. The average volume for the past 3 months has been 5.28 million. And yesterday, the volume was 9.95 million. So it was almost double. Now, why is that, guys? I believe because they are presenting at a conference this week, but also there's been a lot of things going on with TNXP. And if you look on Yahoo or search for it, you can find this article by David Botts, PhD, on some research that discusses TNXP's 6 phase 2 or 3 studies for their CNS programs are expected in the clinic by the first quarter of this year. 6 phase 2 or 3 studies, guys, is very significant. And I believe that TNXP could be a huge long-term hold. Some of these studies are for things that I think we could definitely use. You know, they deal with migraines. They deal with a lot of bio, obviously it's bio, but you know, things such as cocaine intoxication. I mean, there's no drug right now other than Narcan that is used for cocaine intoxication. So I found that to be extremely interesting as well. But they have a bunch of different uses for their med pipeline, as you can see, and they're expected that from their Resilient study, which is a randomized double placebo-controlled pivotal phase 3 trial of their TNX 102 SL for the treatment of fibromyalgia, which again, fibromyalgia is one of those diseases where they can treat the symptoms, but they can't really treat the disease. But they're expecting that study could put them in a position to file a new drug application for TNX 102 SL for the treatment of fibromyalgia this year. So guys, that would be huge. They're expecting those results in the second quarter of 2023. So again, TNXP has been on a lot of people that invest in bio stocks radars for quite some time. So, and it's just hit that low, and I think people are like, wow, I need to get in on this, which is why I want to bring it to you before it hits that $1. And if it does, it could potentially really start to fly, in my opinion. So right now we're seeing that in the past month, institutions have increased their positions by 7.38%. They currently own 17.87% of the stock. Now, guys, this is very important because this stock is under $1. And a lot of times institutions don't like to touch anything that's considered a penny stock. So that really puts this on my radar. Why are they loading the boat? And if you go back and you read about that study, about the 6, studies that they're doing for their drugs, I believe that this is what they're seeing. Insiders have a very small percentage, 0.06%. Others, meaning like you and I, retail investors, 82.08%. So again, we primarily own this, which is also most likely why it's been beat down as hard as it is. But guys, there are stocks that get beat down very hard that create huge opportunities, and I believe this could be one of them. The short interest is still at 8.04%, and based on the huge volume it traded yesterday, Fintel is showing us that it would only take less than half a day to cover that. There are currently shorts available to borrow 200,000 as of last night when I took the screenshot. But as you can see, they are buying shares to short, which is another reason why I was expecting that pullback today, because it started the day with 650 million shares. I'm sorry, 650,000 shares, and ended the day with 200,000 shares. So clearly they're still trying to hold this back for whatever reason. In my mind, I'm saying, why are they not covering? But maybe they're trying to short it harder to get that pullback. I don't know. And the cost to borrow is also rising in the stock. It has gone from 26.97 up to 33.65%, but it's trading anywhere depending on what platform between those two levels. So keep an eye on that as well, because if it continues to rise, that I like to see also. Failure to delivers are not going to come into play. I'm trying to get the dark pool to pull up. Hang on a second. It's not coming. I actually download the picture, which is very strange. But anyways, the short volume ratio has been anywhere between 39.94 and 53.31% over the past 2 trading weeks, and yesterday was at 52%. So you can see they're still clearly shorting the stock, which I find very odd, to be perfectly honest with you. And just so you know, failure to delivers are not an issue at all at this time. But guys, keep a close eye on TNXP, because as I stated, they are presenting at a conference this week. So I expect to see a move higher. However, I would expect a pullback at some time, or at least I'd like to see one, because I think it needs to pull back, consolidate before it makes its next run higher. But you never know. Sometimes things start running and they can be, in that oversold territory for a very, very, or overbought. Sorry, I always confuse those two words because they kind of are inverted, right? But anyways, whatever, the RSI being above 70 for a very long time. So, just like it can be below 30 for a very long time. So guys, I don't know. I was waiting to bring it to your attention for that pullback, because I was going to bring it then, but we're not getting it. But again, please keep in mind, if you do buy it, that a pullback is likely going to come at some point, or at least I would expect. But I also don't want you to miss the boat if this just starts rocketing for some reason today, because the volume has been increasing. So anyways, keep it on your radar. Thank you so much for watching.